Oklahoma has joined with other states in a lawsuit involving California putting regulations on agricultural products, specifically eggs. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, quite amazing, isn't it? I mean, you have a law passed in 2008. I can't remember if it was by referendum or by legislative enactment, but a law was passed in California with hens saying that they had to be in a certain size cage. I've kind of kidded with my staff. It's almost like having a cage that's air conditioned and they can do yoga kind of cage. And the farmers, rightfully so in California, felt like that was problematic after a couple years, and they were being hurt because of the import of eggs that didn't have to, from other states that didn't have to comply with those regulations. And so in 2010, the response by California was not to take the law away, which is what they should have done. They doubled down, and they doubled down by saying, we're going to try to impose this on the rest of the country. And so all eggs being imported into the state of California now have to comply with this yoga air-conditioned cage that California has passed. That's wrong. I mean, the real purpose of the Commerce Clause, if you go back to the formation of the Commerce Clause under the federal Constitution, it existed for this very purpose, to prevent protectionism, to prevent the imposition of tariffs to elevate one state over another state. And that's exactly what's happening here. California is trying to dictate farming operations and rules and regulations in Oklahoma, Nebraska, Iowa, and states all over the country. And they can't do that. So we join with 5 of the states, 6 states total now, that have sued California to say that the law is unconstitutional under the Commerce Clause.
And it's not just about eggs. It could be any egg commodity.
Exactly. I mean, this is something that when you look at cattle, the production of milk, I mean, you could look at any number of things and say, you know what, if this is allowed to stand, you're gonna see states like New York and California dictate farming operations and farming policy, laws, regulations all over the country that deal with, free-range chickens and the rest. And there's no scientific data, Sam, that I've seen, and we've asked for it. We've tried to ferret it out to show that there's any benefit to the consumer for these cages that are larger and otherwise as far as egg production. So we haven't seen any scientific data that provides a nexus on the rules and regulations that California's passed, number one. And number two, it is unconstitutional from our perspective under the Commerce Clause, and it would be the first to fall. It would be a domino that would push other dominoes down with respect to cattle and other related issues on farming.